right, I'm about 30 minutes away. I'm trying to get over this mountain on I-24 called Monteagle and get to the other side of that, break into northern Alabama, and I'm going to go look at a pretty unique panel truck. When I started going to car shows a lot with family and specifically my wife and daughter, daughter being in a wheelchair, a lot of times I had envisioned being able to go to a car show and have a car in said show with family there and that sort of thing. And one of the deterrents was, well, I have to drive a separate vehicle, that sort of thing. And so a panel has always been attractive to me from that standpoint, simply because the floor to roof height is high enough in those things where you can get a wheelchair in without any worry about modifying the floor like you would typically have to do in a van of today. I could put a lift on the back and have a way to get my daughter up in there, and then she could ride in the back as we go to outings and car shows and things of that nature. The one thing that I did not necessarily like about the panel idea is the lack of windows in the sides. I honestly don't know how much it was necessary. I'm not sure that Hannah pays that much attention out the sides. She's mostly a forward looker out windshield kind of thing, but regardless, I had always thought that was a deterrent. Being able to put her in and have a way for her to be able to see out was, I thought, pretty important. So fast forward a few weeks ago, I saw this ad on Marketplace that was an F100 or Ford panel truck, but it was a 57. I have always been drawn to the 53 through 56s, and at one point in my younger life I used to call anything younger than a 56 ugly. But now as I get older, the 57s and on up have grown on me. They still have the curved windshield that everybody comes to know and love on the 56, but you lose the bubble fenders, and they've got the flare sides built in. This one, I am told, was used as an ambulance, and so therefore it has side windows. Now, I went and looked up ambulances in 1957, and I saw a little bit different picture. There's some things that look like the Ghostbusters car, or even like a hearse type deal. It ventured more on the grounds of a car than it did a truck. But that's not to say that was the only type of ambulance used back then. So we'll see. I'm pretty excited. Got the trailer in tow, so hopefully if we can strike a deal, I can bring this thing home, which is about 120 miles or so away. And it's a running truck, but it's one of those things where it's just kind of cobbled together. It looks like it's probably work that somebody did in 80s or 90s. Sorry, truck's about to run me off the road here. Not sure what that was about. So, not what you want going down Monteagle Mountain. But at any rate, I lost my train of thought. Let me regain it for a second. So, so we'll see. We'll see what's going on there, and I'm hopeful that maybe this thing works out. They're asking a little bit more than I would like for it. So we'll see if I can make a deal. I'm definitely prepared to walk away from it if I can't get what I want to give for it. So we'll see. Stay tuned. All right, let's check this thing out a little bit now that I've got it home. It's still on the trailer. First thing I'll do is take you through the inside a little bit. Looks like there's been some patchwork done on the steps. That is typical. I'll climb up in here, try to stabilize that as much as possible. The gauge cluster, we got the original speedometer, and got some aftermarket gauges put in there. I believe those are the original holes, but we've got a combination of SunPro, SunTune, and they all work. I believe the speedometer is not working, so we'll have to take a look at that. I believe we have the original radio, if I'm not mistaken. Now, what confuses me is this cassette player. I don't believe there was any cassette players in 1957, so we'll have to figure that out. And then we have heat controls, defrost and whatnot underneath there. Of course, this was probably a 3-speed on the column originally, and this has been converted to an automatic. So we've got a floor shifter down here, and then inside of it's not bad. I'll take you around the way here. So I'm guessing that's the original floor, which my wife wants me to get rid of. I certainly wanted to give it a shot at refinishing, but she said if this thing was truly an ambulance at some point, that she didn't want all the DNA that was left behind. So we may have to honor that request. Here's the window setup, which looks like, you know, it's definitely the right era in terms of handiwork, if you will. I mean, it doesn't look like it was backyard fabricated. So if this was something, maybe you ordered a custom panel and then you had a third party put in this window setup, I don't know. I definitely want to read some more on it. And we got the back doors, and then where's the window on the other side. So I've got to figure out, they've got some panels here that's been, there's a little patchwork, looks like it's been done on the side. I need to do some more panel work here, getting some rust holes coming through, both on the back side of the fender wells over here. I don't know if you can see that back there, and then of course you saw that one up there below the window on the passenger side. But all in all, it looks like it's in pretty good shape in here, so I'll do some cleanup. Nothing up top, so blank canvas. We'll get that all squared up in terms of probably strip that with a wire wheel and prime it and paint it, or undercut, whatever the case may be, before we put, you know, whatever we're going to do for the inside interior in here. In terms of the motor, I'm told that's a 302. If I had to guess, it's probably a 70s era. Definitely it's not you know, any kind of 90s computerized stuff. It's got 2-barrel carburetor on it. Those valve covers, they're definitely 70s, 80s era type stuff. You'll see the addition of power brake booster. That is something somebody has done, is added disc brakes to the front, and I'll be looking to see what that particular booster came from. I have no idea. It definitely doesn't look like anyone I've seen out of a car or truck. Otherwise, it does have some age on it. Definitely not anything more modern. So we'll see what that brings with it. But old motor runs pretty good, and just going to do some freshening up, make sure it's fairly reliable within reason to drive it short distances, and then I'm going to enjoy it. Places in it that need to got some age showing, but other than that, looks pretty good. Doors need adjusting, I see, poking out on the bottom. Old gas tank apparently isn't good enough shape to hold gas. It's running on such. I don't know if I can get a good shot at the brake setup, but we're going to try. There's another shot. Maybe it's a little bit easier to see. See the setup over there. The rest of it's pretty standard stuff. And Ford 9H, I'm reading. 57 was the first year of that, so that's a good thing.